You
We
know,
got
it's
sound
neat.
now, Jamie? We good?
You know what's neat? He always asks a question that they can't answer. You ever
Right.
notice that? He always puts something out there and they're like,
So those live stream, we just got through Luke 6 all the way down up through 11. Sorry, guys, I need to have a little thing on this live stream. Oh, we're good now, right? Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes,
you hear me
sound
now.
good. Cool. All right. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So we had talked about how in 5 we saw Jesus was kind of showing some miracles, and the Pharisees were starting to keep an eye on him and say, "Okay, we got to look at this guy." And then they're walking through the field, hungry. And they ate some grain on the Sabbath. Then he was teaching, and the Pharisees were watching because there was a man with a shriveled hand, and he healed him. So Jesus is saying, well, why is it? What do you say here? Is it wrong to do good or to do evil, to save a life or destroy it on the Sabbath? Right. So God gave us a Sabbath. He gave it to us. It wasn't a Sabbath for him, right? It was for us to rest. The Pharisees made this up as a law, a rule for them. Say, no, you can't do anything that
Can't walk more than X amount of
right.
time.
You can't walk on the grass was even one of the rules. And so
If
Yeah.
you walk too far, you're working. If you eat anything but leftovers on Sunday, you're working, or Sabbath day.
and what the law was working. So they're saying that they were working by picking this grain. They were feeding themselves, so they're not starved. Yeah, they said the chosen. Yeah, right, exactly. And so we see that, it's Jesus said to them, "The Son of Man is the Lord of the Sabbath." Okay, there you go. You're telling me I can't do it. I'm the Lord. So who's right? Who's wrong here? Your law or what I said? They're not working. They're feeding themselves. The paralytic man, he's healing on the Sabbath. He's doing good on the Sabbath. Do you wish that man go on paralyzed? No. And again, he's the Son of Man. So the Pharisees are not. They're trying to catch him, right? They're the guys with the binoculars on the hill, watching. He knows what they're doing. It's perfect. And the other thing is, Jesus is sinless. So him saying, "Go ahead and eat this on the Sabbath," is not a sin. He's sinless. We know that, right? So they're now just Jesus is just teasing the tiger with these Pharisees. They don't like it.
Or the laws of the Lord with your teaching.
Right.
Something along those lines.
And these laws we see these Pharisees are making, it's separating them from God, right?
Mhm.
It's making it harder for them to get to God, which is keeping the Pharisees pretty in business, right?
They're trying to set themselves up and
Yeah,
above
they're
all of the
right. They're
or
boosting
stay
themselves. Exactly.
The-
Valerie, so they're making themselves an idol that you have to go through. Except we all know that's not how this works.
Well, I mean, the reason why, like, it's where it says, Jesus is the new high priest, made the offering once for all. He went into the true holy of holies one time. That's all he needed. Didn't have to go back to the mercy seat a bunch of times. Nope, once. And that's also why Protestants get mad at the Catholic Church and go, this alleged sacrifice of the mass is blasphemy. Please stop. Jesus doesn't, you're not calling him down into a new sacrifice. He doesn't need to be re-sacrificed every day.
And he goes back and kind of speaks to the Pharisees in this and talks about David. When David was running from Saul and his boss essentially, and his soldiers were hungry and they ate the consecrated bread, that the 7-day-old bread, right? Yeah, that
The
always,
shewbread,
yeah, that
it
always
was set out for just the priests.
just for the priests. I'm hungry. We got to eat. We got somebody trying to kill us.
Because your wave offering, your burnt offering,
Yeah,
Was there one other one?
in the tabernacle. Yeah. So essentially, he's getting at like, hey, you guys made this rule, but go back. What did David do? So he's making arguments. He doesn't need to, but he is. He's talking to them.
I got a curious question.
Oh,
The Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath. Now, how could he get away with that statement? Did he mean the Son of Man him? Did he mean the Son of Man from God? They should have been more offended at that. So I don't.
When he,
Yeah,
right, when he uses son of man, he's using the messianic term. From is it Isaiah on that one or Ezekiel? Anyways. Old Testament messianic term where he talks about the Son of Man will come in glory, etc.
but he's not claiming at that time to be the Son of Man. Right?
He's already calling himself the Son of Man.
He
That's already,
is.
he's already called himself the Son of
The
that
very-
Son of Man. Because
well, also you got to think the Pharisee. He's on the radar at this time.
there's
But
not
he's
anything he
not-
does that doesn't make it matter.
Yeah, he's on the Pharisees' radar, but
Think prompt versus deliverance.
Not
There's
effective.
nothing he's.
They're like-
nothing he can do that's gonna be right.
now no, I get that.
Like, how did they?
Tommy
get from this
asked. He says the Son of Man is the Lord of the Sabbath. Who was he calling himself the Son of Man?
Why weren't they mad about him?
And then why were the Pharisees not throwing spears or rocks at him at that point? Yeah. So right off the bat, he's up to it. Pharisees are getting on him now that they got the guys in the bushes with the binoculars. So we go into the 12 apostles. One of those days, Jesus went out to a mountain to pray and spent the night praying to God. When morning came, he called his disciples to him and chose 12 of them, whom he also designated apostles. Simon, whom he named Peter, his brother Andrew, James, John, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James, Simon, and Judas, the son of James. Judas, son of James, who became a traitor. Okay, so prior to this, these guys are just disciples following him around, right? So now he decides these are the 12 that are going to be my apostles, that are going to spread and grow churches for me. These guys are going to be my students, my personal students, right? These are my personal group, my special group. So this is the first time he makes apostles versus disciples. He has people following him around. That are his disciples. We're disciples. These are his apostles. So that's where he makes.
And those are the apostles are the ones that are sent out.
Yes, and his apostles are going to be sent out to create the church and do his teachings and his miracles. That's the first we kind of see about it in here. So he's got his guys picked out, right? Let me go to blessings and woes, beatitudes. He went down with them and stood on a level place. A large crowd of his disciples were there, and a great number of people from all over Judea, from Jerusalem, and from the coastal region of Tyre and Sidon, who had come to hear him and to be healed of their diseases. Those troubled by impure spirits were cured, and the people all tried to touch him, because power was coming from him and healing them all. Looking at his disciples, he said, "Blessed are you who are poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. Blessed are you who hunger now, for you will be satisfied. Blessed are you who weep now, for you will laugh. Blessed are you when people hate you, when they exclude you and insult you and reject your name as evil because of the Son of Man. Rejoice in that day and leap for joy, because great is your reward in heaven. For that is how their ancestors treated the prophets. But woe to you who are rich, for you have already received your comfort. Woe to you who are well fed now, for you will go hungry. Woe to you who laugh now, for you will mourn and weep. Woe to you when everyone speaks well of you, for that is how their ancestors treated false prophets." So it's a lot, right? So he has this large crowd, right? This is to me, and everybody chime in if you will. Imagine this: he's on a level ground with everybody, and a bunch of people, right? It says disciples. Then he looks at his disciples, being the apostles. So now these are my guys. I'm gonna start teaching you. This is where we start. I'm gonna start listening. And I think these Beatitudes, me, I just received it wrong. Catechism wise, is, if you're poor, you're going to be rich. Okay, so a lot of people, and me included, you got lemons turned in lemonade. Change your attitude. Think you're positive. But he's talking about you're poor in spirit. Give yourself up when you believe you will be rich in the kingdom. All of these, when you
Well,
are hungry, right? You're hungry for the Lord. You will be fed in heaven. You will be full of the Spirit.
it's like when people misinterpret the passages that say we will be healed. And they think that means now and should be now. And it's like, no. Those passages also mean eventually.
Yeah.
In the hereafter, if not here.
Right.
That doesn't mean immediately, doesn't mean now.
Yeah, but Kenny's saying, and what I think he's saying is a lot of people see this as an earthly thing.
And
It's not. It's an eternal passage. It's not on earth. It's not saying that you believe in Jesus right now. Hey, I believe in you, man. Where's my bag of gold?
Right.
That's not what this is. This is eternal. We are here temporarily, right?
Well, it's like too many people sadly believe that prayer is a magical formula to get what you want.
Right.
And they're like, if that's how you're praying, then you're not praying correctly in the first place. Because it's not how you get what you want, it's how you get closer to God and become more like Him and align your desires with what He wants in the first place. And then when you're praying in alignment with His desires, it'll happen.
Right. This is when we truly repent is when we realize we're not doing this on our own. Right. That's giving ourselves up, saying we are not doing this on our own. That is what this is about. It's knowing that the earthly issues are not the end of means, that it is in heaven as we give ourselves up. We will be rich in spirit. We will be fed. Anybody got any input on that? I just growing up, it was always okay. Yeah, we gotta believe because, man, I want to win the soccer game.
I think it also
Yeah.
shows the temporariness and transitory nature of different conditions in life. If you're poor, at some point it will change. If you're rich, at some point that'll change too. Like the impermanence in this life versus the permanence in the afterlife.
Right. Yeah, the stupidity of life here.
I think it's like the one woman that gave leaks. She got blessed.
Right.
And people don't understand that. You give at your lowest and you will people.
Right.
But people don't understand that. They think it's today, I prayed to this, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and that's something we touch on a lot is we live in a culture of now. I mean, I ordered something on eBay the other day and the shipping was a week. A week. Amazon's next day. That's just the world we live in is we want everything now. And we don't want to have to work hard for it. We don't have to be patient. I mean, we look back at Paul shipwrecked 4 times? But he knew
Bit by snakes.
bit by snake, poison snake, but he knew where he was going. He had his faith. He knew he was going to be okay because he was going to get free. So, yeah, that's a great point. It is a lesson in patience in our faith.
Right on. If I live now, I serve Christ. If I die now, I go to be with Him. And then either way,
But also the backside of that is if you do not believe, you do not have faith, those problems to you are worldly. That's it.
Yeah.
You're saying I'm on my own. That's all you have. That's all you have. You got nothing.
just remember when Osteen says your best life now, the only way it's your best life now is if you're not going to heaven. And if you follow Osteen close enough, you'll get to hell with him. It's fun. But Sorry.
our boy J.O.
That was my loud voice.
Tell me what you got.
Right, so the quiz you is just to ask the statement. What are we supposed to give?
What are we?
Are we required to give?
Not,
Are we required to tithe?
No,
no,
not required to die.
So
supposed to give from the abundance of your heart and joyful. It's not,
It could be.
it could,
It
it could,
could be.
but I was saying,
no.
Tommy asked, are we required to tithe?
Again, that goes back to the legal instinct. That goes back to the Old Testament laws where
If you're best, whether that's the service,
time, knowledge,
two
money,
money for me,
food, etc.
one requirement, one commandment. It's one commandment I give to you. Love one another, love their back.
Exactly.
That lady gave her little out of her,
Right.
Yeah.
even though back then it was under the law. But she gave everything she had.
Tommy said the one thing we give is love. That's correct. And
Well, his statement when he said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and love others. He covers all of the big 10 in that statement. He just breaks it down into two parts, the parts that serve God and the parts that,
Yeah.
that are your interaction with the earth.
Yeah, because my problem with all of it is, do you pray enough? Do you give enough? Do you do enough? If you did it out of love, you did enough. Pray
Yeah.
for yourself and ask this whole table, how many people know they're going to heaven? And half of them won't raise their hand. But the other half, okay? Are you going? You going?
Yeah. And I don't deserve to go. There's absolutely nothing I've done that makes it me worthy.
Has the aspect, because they had to have done it, or they couldn't have raised their hand.
that's right.
Because then I'd be saying, well, did you give enough? Did you donate your?
Right.
Did, oh my God.
Tommy talking about tithing and we were just talking about it too, yeah.
Forgive, believe me, and I've lived either way.
Love.
I believe in it.
Remember the beauty between the major difference between Christianity and man-made religion. Christianity is all about God making the effort to bring us closer to Him. It's all about what He did. It's all about what Jesus did. All man-made religion, you follow each and every one of them, no matter what they say. It's all about you working your way there,
Also, when you get to tithing,
and you can't. Not,
it was the Levites, right? And
and it was to help support
And
the
that's-
temple and the priestly
right.
class.
and
It was necessary.
they were to take no pay, the Levites we were just talking about, when they bring the offerings, that was their job, right? They were to take no pay. So
But the part of what they got was part of the food that was offered, et cetera. Yeah, they got,
but we were discussing mega churches before, so you got
oh, yeah.
details. All right, the attitudes, anybody else got something to throw in there? Tommy, anything to throw in there? Anybody?
Just wondered if you had.
well.
And-
I just lost my mom. And she decided that she didn't want any treatment. And she told staff and she told me, that she gave it exactly.
Repeat.
I'm going to see Jesus today. And 2 hours later, she was.
Yeah.
She was there. She knew it. She grew up faithfully all of her life. She knew the word. She lived the word, and she's there. And that's my comfort. Is as hard as it is for those of us that are left behind, that's my blessing that I know where she's at. She knew it. She was that concrete about it.
That's great. That's amazing.
It's like my mentor and the person that started me in the business that I own now, actually, the reason why I have that business. She died on her birthday, which would be actually late this month. coming up on that anniversary. People are like, that's kind of rough. And I'm like, not for her. If you know her, because she goes, I finally got my birthday present. Wanted to go see Jesus. I got my ticket.
Well, it's like that. It's like the guy I was talking about at the Bag of Donuts when he told me about losing his son, and then just 3 months ago lost his other son. And I just was like, oh,
That's
I
hard.
just met you. That's a lie. I said, no, they were here for a reason. Their life was fulfilled. They're in heaven now. And he said he's going to fill
That
out
means he didn't lose it.
his role and he's going to see them. That was you guys. That's like, to me, that was like, wow, that's faith. That is 100% faith. I mean, I didn't even know this guy, and he's telling me, and I'm sitting there like about to cry, you know. It's yeah, wow. So we get into love your enemies, and kind of spoiled you all on this over the weekend. But so 27. But to you who are listening, I say, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. If someone slaps you on the cheek, turn to them the other also. If someone takes your coat, do not withhold your shirt from them. Give to everyone who asks you, and if anyone takes what belongs to you, do not demand it back. Do to others as you would have done, do to others as you would have done to you. Have them do to you. Okay, we got through that. So he's talking to his apostles now.
Yes.
He's talking. This is okay. First day of class, and he's dropping all this on them. So who are the enemies he's talking about here? He's not talking about the guy who cut me off in traffic, right? This is a bigger picture that he's talking about. There's two types of people in this world. There's believers and there's unbelievers. The unbelievers, as he said earlier, you're going to have people who hate you. It's in the sense of they do not believe.
How do you recognize an unbeliever?
Tommy said, how do you recognize an unbeliever? How do you recognize a believer?
Well, you recognize the love in the believer.
By the
That's
Spirit.
how
What you recognize in a non-believer. That guy that just cut you off in traffic. Sorry.
Yeah, well, he said, how do you recognize an unbeliever? It's the guy who cut you off in traffic. I've cut people off in traffic, Tommy. Let's pump the brakes until we, really throw ourselves in. Yeah. No pun intended there. But that's who he's talking. And I said, how do you recognize a believer? Because today we see people of other religion, we automatically know. Now, we as Christians need to be better about showing our faith. And I talked about this on Sundays. Are we that temple? Are we out showing what is taught to us in here?
It's the old saying, you're the only Jesus many people will ever meet
Yeah.
or see
Yeah.
or
and
hear.
You go into, and this was from Stephen Armstrong, you go into a supermarket, can you point out a Christian in there? Or is it just somebody else walking by with their earbuds? So that's something we could reflect on, I think, is as Christians sitting here in a group talking about our faith. It doesn't need to stay here. Yeah, we could pack this house, I think. We do a good job at it,
The world
church.
wants us not to live our faith, but to hide it inside a building.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Come on, what you said before, how do you recognize a believer? And I would think you would recognize them by their actions.
that's how it's.
Yeah.
Should be.
That's what they said with their actions.
It could be a believer with a bad day.
Yeah.
Just like you said in the supermarket. You know that person is more or less a believer or someone that doesn't fit our criteria of calling him a believer, a Catholic, a Baptist, blah, 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 blah. Let's get down to the brass tacks. Did they smile at you? What did they put out there when they smiled? Right. That connection, that love, that person, if they never stepped in a church, I am a firm believer that that person knows God because they know love. And point blank in the book, it says God is love, not out of context, not out of nothing. So if they know love, do they know God? period. It's that simple.
That opens too many, that's too much of a slippery slope. That opens too many false doors that people walk through because they go,
For what Jesus said to do.
I saw Hindus, they seem to show love, they love God. That's okay, that's another Osteen quote. I gotta stop picking on him. Like, no, they don't. They love God's plural, and God says don't do that. And if you do that, you don't love me. So no,
So how do you differentiate that love? What's the easiest way? We're disciples, right?
fruits,
Right.
Be a disciple
How many times are you gonna get forgiven for messing up?
every time
Why did he do that? Because we're gonna mess up.
because we're sinners.
There it is.
How many times are we
not
going to be
perfect in
forgiven?
this
Tommy
world
said.
unless we live until the
Every
second
time. That's why Jesus came for us,
Never
for
would
that.
be, never would be. It wouldn't be human.
So we'll finish this little thing right here. I kind of stopped halfway. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who are good to you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners do that. And if you lend to those from whom you expect repayment, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners, expecting to be repaid in full. But love your enemies, do good to them, and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. Then the reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High, because he is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. Kind of just touched on that a little bit. That's tough.
Well, we're given multiple times. It says we're going to be merciful like your father is merciful, but we're also given parables that say, you wicked servant, you were forgiven all this, but now you want to hold it against everyone else when you owed way more than anyone who owed you. What's in the end of the Lord's Prayer, or part of the Lord's Prayer, forgive us our sins, we forgive those who trespass against us, and forgive us our trespassers. Curious about that one.
But I mean, imagine me, the apostles in this, we're day one of class, and love your enemy.
That's
If
hard.
they slap you, give them the
Yeah.
other cheek. Okay. But again, you will see the rewards in heaven. We think about life so earthly. It's such a fault for us. I'm getting all these texts saying there's no sound or something. Oh no, okay, we're good. I don't know, guys. I'm terrible at computers, apparently. Can you guys hear me now? Anybody chime in the chat? Okay. So let me go. Okay, cool. It's you guys, not me. So again, he hits him with everything. Here he goes on to judging others. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, you will be measured. It will be measured to you. He also told them a parable. Can the blind lead the blind? Will they not both fall into a pit? The student is not above the teacher, but everyone who is fully trained will be like their teacher. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when you yourself fail to see the plank in your own eye? You hypocrite. First take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye.
One of the most abused passages in the New Testament.
Yeah?
Because so many people go, oh, that's an excuse not to judge. I don't have to have discernment. I don't have to actually think about what's right and wrong. Like, no, it says don't judge hypocritically. It goes by how you judge other people, it's going to come back on you. That's what it says. It doesn't say be a complete blank slate with no opinion and don't judge by what's already laid out right and wrong in the word. No, it says don't have a telephone pole sticking out of your eye and looking at your friend's little splinter in their eye and go, hey, let me get that for you, buddy. Smacking them in the head with the pole coming out of your eye.
That's right. before that, he talks about the blind leading the blind, right? He's talking about the Pharisees. He's talking about the Pharisees teaching, but they're not teaching everything. They're not following. So that's the blind leading the blind. Follow me, do what I say, do what I know, but they're not getting the whole picture. They're not believers.
Still really weird, those two factions. One faction was supernaturalist, but heavy legalists. As far as Sadducees and Pharisees. Wow, I'm getting dyslexic. And then the other ones were the closest to materialist you're gonna find in those days. They were relatively secular Jews. They were cultural Jews, more than religious Jews at that point in time. They were religion, but it was their culture, it was their tradition. And they were the ones that did not believe in the resurrection and did not believe in most of the supernatural events in the Torah or the Bible. They were Torah only, basically. They left out the prophets, they left out the rest, where you had the others which took the whole lot, but just added their own legalism and heavy burdens on top of everything.
Yeah. It says, be merciful just as your Father is merciful. Right? He's telling his apostles, do as God does for you.
These
Been
guys,
forgiven.
Yes.
they will put standard and we,
Correct.
and their standard was way beyond an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth and all that. Because
You say an eye for an eye.
they were being crucified later on down there. They didn't know it yet. But that's why he was saying to do it. It's harder to do it. Just give everything up and God give them pause. And that gave them the time to go down that.
Tommy said an eye for an eye, and that's the biggest argument about all this. Everybody says, well, the Old Testament says an eye for an eye. That's not.
That's out of context.
That's totally out of context. That was said to make people think before they do something stupid. Say, okay, if I kill this guy, then I can get killed. It wasn't saying somebody killed this person, let's go kill him. It's the opposite here. It was to stop bad things.
It was legal penalty. It wasn't setting up for vendetta or vindictiveness or personal revenge. It was, this is the maximum penalty under law.
Right.
If you cause injury to someone and cause them to lose an eye, your eye could be required for that law.
Right.
By the law, not by vigilante justice.
It was not a law of retribution.
It's a difference of lynching someone versus calling the police on
Right.
it.
It was to calm us down, make us think a little bit. That's the biggest, well, an eye for an eye. No. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And I think we can all take that into our daily lives when somebody cuts Jordan off in traffic. Not me. Maybe breathe a little bit.
Some pretty Christian road rage for a minute there.
I came from Mount Bellevue here, and it's the bumpiest road with people driving 95 miles.
Until you
Yeah.
get to Christian here, and then you just stop. You just take an hour to go a mile.
I'm listening to a Christian podcast and cussing that guy out.
BJ really likes hours.
We are sinners, people. Yeah. All right. We good on that, guys? Okay. A tree and its fruit. No good tree bears bad fruit, nor does a bad tree bear good fruit. Each tree is recognized by its own fruit. People do not pick figs from thorn bushes or grapes from briars. A good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart, and an evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. For the mouth speaks what the heart is full of.
You think anybody's gonna speak after that one?
What did we just talk about? The things coming out of the mouth? If that's the abundance of my heart, I'm in trouble.
No, we were thinking trees and everything, and bad trees, okay, blah, blah, blah. But it ends, it's your heart. You have a bad heart. If you do not have your faith, you're probably not doing good things, right? And it
Or
goes.
even if you're doing things that you believe are good, it's still not necessarily good.
And it's
ends.
just, yeah,
We're told that our righteousness, our self-righteousness is filthy rags before God. And those filthy rags, the original language, are talking about used menstrual cloths and the strips that were used to hold the lepers, pussy oozing sores together. So that's the filthy cloths that our good works without God look like to God. So yeah, that's a great picture.
and this goes back to
Advertising.
the judgment too. If someone's doing something bad, we judge them. We let them know you're doing something bad. They recognize that, but they're missing something. The heart is still not full there. So as disciples, what do? Tell them why. We explain it, why this is a sin, right? Make the heart full, bring them in. Also, the bad fruit. I think this is also talking about the Pharisees. The Pharisees are really, this is a lesson. This is 101 on, hey, yeah, they're watching and he's telling them, right? You guys are messing up, saying the bad fruit. These guys, they're not teaching the right thing. They're making these laws to get in between you and God. They're going to be mad. They are the enemy in this context, in this scripture right here. So, of course, they're on his butt now, right? Anything else on the good and bad fruit here? Right, your heart and your mind need to be working together. That's right. I mean, your mind does work from your heart. What is in your heart? Is the spirit in your heart? Yeah. That's right. That's right. I mean, that's if we live our lives judging people and we have that big old plank sticking out of our eye, we can never get close enough to that person because we got a plank sticking out of our eye. We can't get close enough to decide to be disciples. We need to remove that first before we can even get close enough to him to talk to him.
Hold on, I think there's a splinter in your eye.
Yeah. It's a parable, but it's a hilarious parable.
Can you imagine taking a group of us and saying, okay, I've got a new plan for every single one of you starting today. But we got to give up everything
Right.
we think we know, everything we've been taught, everything we think we know.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen the Babylon Bee one where it's like the Easter special? They're talking about after the resurrection and they're it's a, of course it's a joke, but it's supposed to be all the disciples go, okay, we got this great plan. Okay, we're gonna steal the body of Jesus. Okay, yes, and we're gonna say he was raised. Okay, I'm following you. It's a good prank so far, and then we're all gonna get horribly killed. Wait, what? Wait.
Yeah.
Check that video out. It's hilarious because it's like the people that are like, oh, that was a scam. It was yeah, because it worked out so well for them.
But again, we got to ask ourselves, are we sitting around bad trees that keep on producing bad fruit and hoping for a good fruit? Who are we surrounding ourselves with? If we're sitting here judging somebody, we have to think about this person every day, judging this group every day. What are they doing? What are they doing? You got to move on. That tree's not gonna bear fruit. It's a toxic plant. And then also there's the other side of it is if we're sitting here judging and then going doing stupid stuff, we gotta get the plank out of our eye. It's too put together there.
We don't have enough information to even have. If you do that, learn it from the function, and everyone knows.
Yes. I said, we usually don't have enough information to even start judgment. That's correct. Now we're assuming, and most times when we judge, we're casting judge, and a lot of people judge to make themselves feel holier and higher up. It's just it's human nature.
Themselves to when they talk about how good they are, they compare themselves to the worst of humanity.
That's right.
They don't compare themselves to Jesus. They don't compare. No. They're like, well, I'm not a Hitler or a Stalin or a.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to be.
That's right. That's right.
If hell was only full of those guys, it would not be that full.
What was if we don't know the full story, you can't judge. And if you do know the full story, it's on you to be a disciple and get with this person
God,
and
well,
explain to them, hey, it's not. There's something else here. Come listen. Come to Saltwater Bible Church. You know, so a lot to unpack there. Man, I picked a great week here to lead. Anything else with the trees, thorns, briars? All right. The wise and the foolish builders. Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and not do what I say? As for everyone who comes to me and hears my words and puts them into practice, I will show you what they are like. They are like a man building a house who dug deep down and laid the foundation on rock. When a flood came, the torrent struck that house, but could not shake it because it was well built. But the one who hears my words and does not put them into practice is like the man who built a house on ground without a foundation. The moment a torrent struck the house, it collapsed and its destruction was complete. We talked about this Sunday. What are we building? Are we listening? Are we reading the Bible? Are we living that life where someone can point us out in the crowds? That guy's a Christian. Are we building that foundation with Christ? Or are we building sticks on sand? Also, here it says, why do you call me Lord, Lord? And in Jewish culture, Lord was thrown around a lot. There's someone higher above you. So this is early on with his apostles. Now he's saying, you call me Lord, I am your Lord. I am the Lord. You call me Lord, but you don't listen to me. Listen to me.
Well, I mean, later we have where he says, "Those will come to me in the end." Going back, they'll come to me in the end and say, "Lord, didn't I prophesy in your name? Didn't I do this, that, this? And get behind me! I never knew you." Why was that? Because they never walked with him, and what they did, it was all false and all for show. It wasn't true miracles. It wasn't true.
Yeah.
For any of that. So
Is our faith actually rooted in foundation? Is it going to withstand? Is it going to survive the floods, the fires? Or do we need to take that bulldozer or whatever storm hits us and start over? A lot of times, yeah. Because what do we do? Well, we sin. So start over and build the temple on that foundation. And again, that goes with being disciples.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people that go up to church, I see it every Sunday. Yeah. It's only the most, that's a start.
It's a start, right?
It's a start. And we don't need to be looking down at that because
we give the foundation.
Exactly right. And Al said we don't need to be looking down on, call them, babies in faith. Talking about children at our church, kind of run around, but they're there. They're not an adult. They're not tuned in, but they're here. They're hearing it, and we need to lead by the example.
And I'm so grateful to God. Do not understand for the life of these years old people. When they said it, you're not talking much, I just couldn't. You'll never- hold on. I'm not here. I'm not here. James said, I want to stop. I think something was wrong about my car and I'm going to go to my child and getting better than. God clearly spoke to me and said, this one is not good. I turned around and went back home. After it's confirmed, yes, maybe it's dead. Literally, I cannot tell you from the day God started talking to me, telling me, you were going to sleep in a sleep. And I kept arguing with him and arguing with him. I was like, I'm not doing this. You have no idea what the capacity of you. I'm not doing this. Night after night after night, he argued with me and argued with me. And like, literally, I'm sitting there having a conversation with you. All the pressure was, I did it. And I told God one night, if you expect me to do this, I expect you to hear me and I expect you to give me the words. He did. Since then, and not only just in that day, I have had so many young people. And even older people, I'm almost 50. They're coming to church with me.
That's amazing.
And so, yes, and mind you, I was raised Christian, I know all about God. I went through a lot of trials of pure alcohol, I was raised in children, all this stuff. But in the midst of all of it, here I am. I can't believe it. Sorry, I had to speak in order to.
That's absolutely amazing. I could.
Yes, I love bringing these kids to our church. Absolutely. Come into church with me now, but
God gave you that strength. I mean, that's. That's amazing.
Well, I always was, well, not always, but frequently have heard churches are not museums for saints, they're hospitals for sinners.
Right.
And there are some churches where that's way more evident, where we're all sinners helping each other. We're all there to help, and we all found the cure to the fatal disease that everyone has.
You want to speak to the power of the Lord. I mean, that's. Look at that. How many said 700 kids at your child's funeral and they're coming to church now. He gave you the strength to get up there. That's man.
Even if one made it.
Yeah.
Even if you
That's
took
it.
one, you never
That's-
know.
Talk about discipleship right there.
It's open. We're all close.
That's it.
We're not perfect, we know it. So that's where this is at. He has a word there. And he spoke to you, you heard it, you followed it, and you're honoring it. And look what you were doing, you're building upon his vision.
That's. I mean, that is.
My son's 17 years on the earth was meant to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's like the whole point of all this, right there in one story. You went through something that nobody should ever have to go through, and Jesus spoke through you to a bunch of kids that probably weren't going to church, and they saw the strength he gave you and are now coming to church. That is 101 right here. Yes. That's so powerful.
We were judging their life for the churches and those kids that said if we went to church, we don't like it because they get judged, but we don't.
Yeah. We shouldn't. Again, yes, for church, we don't judge. We should. Right. Yeah. That's it. Man.
Well, I'm sober by the way, too.
Jordan told your story, and I never met you until now. But jeez, you know, I'm sitting here talking about this guy I met, and you're here, the story, so powerful. Oh man, you should have been leading this. Man, nice to be blessed. Yeah. Thomas says it's nice to be blessed. Heck yeah. Whoa. We unpacked a lot there. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. That's wow.
So do you really want to talk about a tree after that?
No. The tree, yeah, we passed the tree.
See, we're going tangential.
But I will say, on what you said is, you know, you've rebuilt, you had to rebuild. Your life completely changed. And the first thing you did was have God speak through you to bring all of these other people to Christ. You built a mansion day one.
It's a beginning for me, because I will tell you this. I was just on the lady who was right after your mother passed away last year. And so they were getting in touch with the DEA agent, and some things are moving forward with that case. Please. And so as I think it is, and I do believe 100% all free. But I think that I'm gonna be able to speak and to speak to a lot of people. And they really be a bigger
Yeah.
source. So that I can bring more kids.
What a great call.
So a lot of people are playing in my life, especially recently, and I think it's a big one. And I can't wait. I really cannot wait to see where I'm at.
That's awesome.
I'm next year.
That's you know, I didn't go to the Charlie Kirk visual. I watched it. A&M was playing it. But everyone, I'd say majority of the people going there were high school age. So there is this shift going on. Yeah, high school and college.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a shift. We're seeing Jesus on TV and music, and I said the other day, you know, Satan, you better wake up because we ain't sleeping. We're all here for a purpose. So yours is an extremely high purpose.
So you mentioned that. You're saying, just going through the notes in here, and I go, John 16:2-3. Some who in their error will commit atrocities, murder in the name of God. Time is coming when whoever kills you will think that he offers God service. And you look at the left's response to Charlie Kirk's death, and it's disgusting.
Yep.
And it's sick. And some of them still think they did something righteous. And that type of activity should continue. And you're like, wait, yep, they'll do because they have not known the Father nor me. Wait,
Exactly.
wait, yeah. Yeah, they'll kill you and think they offer God service. It's already happening. It's not. Yeah,
And I do want.
not waiting to happen. It's already happened.
We're getting kind of
Tangential.
along here. I will end by saying, you know, we do need to be noticeable Christians and be good disciples. Whether that is, you know, giving that hug or saying, "Hey, you're going through something. There's a guy that's going to help you. Come and let me tell you about this book." And so, you know, it is our duty as Christians to do that. Just kind of leave here with what we're talking about and go the rest of the week doing that.
Each person hears it.
It's the Wi-Fi. It's gone in and out.
Spotty.
Yeah.
Try to make the Wi-Fi spot here.
So, anybody got anything last here to add? It was a good one, guys. I think.
Good job.
That's it. Let's go and pray out here, guys. Lord, again, thank you for this amazing group, and thank you for all of these questions we had today, and seeking deeper meaning in your word. Just as the apostles, they were shocked at what you said, but they listened, they followed you. We need to follow you. We need to deepen our foundation. We need to build a godly life. We need to build on you and be disciples of you. Please, just be with us throughout this week, and let us stand out as Christians. Let us be disciples and do right, show love. In your name we pray. Amen. Thanks, guys.